So how you guys doing? Well, I'm definitely excited to be here in Atlanta today. I know there's a lot of new people in the audience, and today what I'm going to do is share with you some of the points that Mark brought up to me when I got involved with the business when I was 17 years old. And before I do that, though, I've got 4 amazing distributorships that we're going to be bringing out here, and you're going to be able to hear from them, from Europe, from Asia, and from North America on what's happened to them with the business. But what I thought would be best before we did that is tell you a bit about myself. Most of you know my story, so I'll just give you the very quick version of it, especially for the new people. When I started with this business, I was actually 17 years old and got involved with the company. Remember this the next time that you talk with somebody, is never prejudge anybody. Before this, I was cutting lawns, making about $500 a month. I'm originally from Vancouver, Canada, and I didn't want to cut lawns the rest of my life. I just got kicked out of school, grade 9. I used to have hair down to here, and for some strange reason, I wanted to become a waiter. And still to this day, I have no idea why I wanted to become a waiter. I started applying to different restaurants. And if you think about it, especially for the young people, where do you go today? What kind of job do you find? Because most people are looking for experienced people. And all the different restaurants I applied for, they took one look at me and they said, position is taken, because how I looked. And I had no background in the restaurant business or industry, except for one restaurant. They gave me what's called the busboy. And before Herbalife, I was not a hard worker. They fired me after about 7 days. They said I couldn't work fast enough. And then I had one other job. And next time you go to Kentucky Fried Chicken, you'll actually think of me. I don't know if you ever thought about this. It's kind of funny, because Armitage, one time over in Europe, I think we were in Bercy, and we're going in front of about 15, 20,000 people. And Armitage comes running up to me, and he was all excited. He says, Blake, you're so lucky you joined this company. And I said, why? And he showed me a little picture. He says, there's a new machine. You would have been out of business if you would have stayed in your profession. And before this, I was actually a chicken catcher. I actually caught chickens for a living, and they made a machine that's an automatic chicken catcher. And when I got involved with Herbalife, 2 people turned me down 3 different times. And I remember they didn't even want to take my money for the IBP, for the kit. 2 people, I remember meeting with Ron Lennox, and Ron took one look at me, and he was more interested in getting my dad involved in the business. And actually, he passed me to his upline for whatever reason, I have no idea. And Nick wanted to meet with me, and Nick met with me, asked my professional background, and once I told him, he said, well, tell you what, why don't you and your dad get together with Ron? And I met the 3rd time with them. So 2 people actually turned me down 3 different times. And then they passed me to a girl who'd been involved with the business 1 day before I got involved. And my first 3 months that I got involved with the business, when I got serious, I put $19,000 cash profit in my pocket. And understand, I didn't bring a lot of skills. I didn't bring any skills to this business. By the time I turned into my mid-20s, I got to tell you this. When I got involved with this business, I was dead broke, no money whatsoever. I went out and paid cash. By the time I was 25 years old, paid cash for my first Lamborghini Diablo. And my parents told me I was crazy. They said, go get a real job. Bought them a house. They don't think I'm crazy anymore. Actually, and I'm not bragging to you. The reason I'm telling you this is what's happened to me and my family can happen to you. And what I'm excited about is the future. But I will tell you this, and you've heard this the last couple of days, is this company, we were growing, building a lot of momentum, and then we lost our founder. And that had a major impact on my business, to be real honest with you. Like, he was like my big brother. And I don't know about you, but when tragedy happens, everybody treats it differently. I become, what would you say, probably like a recluse. I remember when my little sister passed away when I was 24 years old, and I disappeared from the company for about a year and a half. And with Herbalife, same thing. When Mark passed away, it had a devastating effect on my business. But really, what kept this company going was three things. And I remember Mark sharing these three things with me, and you might want to write them down, especially for the new people, because you're going to be tested with these three things in the future. One is your loyalty, and I'm going to go slow here before I introduce the next four people. One is your loyalty, and I promise you, and I guarantee you, other companies are going to try to recruit you into their business. And I remembered Mark telling me that. And you're going to be tested with your loyalty. You got to understand, every company in the world has tried to recruit me. Every single week, somebody is phoning me up and trying to get me and tell me about how great their product line is or how great their marketing plan is. The only reason I'm standing up here today is because I've been extremely loyal to this company. And I stayed with the company for 22 years. But I will tell you, yes, but I will tell you, especially for the new people, and even the people who've been around for a while, you're always going to be challenged and tested with your loyalty. And you're going to hear all kinds of stories. And I'll be honest with you, in the last 22 years, I've seen some really good distributors buy other stories from other corporations. And for whatever reason, they go over there. And then they look at where we are today. And then they look at where we're going in the future. And I will tell you this, where we're going, companies can only dream of what we're going to accomplish in the next 5 years here. The next one, yes. The second thing I remember Mark telling me is you're going to be tested with your work habits. You're going to be tested with your work habits. And I realize there's a lot of people here who are part-time. And if you want to make an extra $500 a month, $1,000 a month, no problem. When I got involved with this business, I didn't bring good work habits to this business, but I was taught them. I remember my first year, I worked 16 hours a day. 16 hours a day with this business. And that's my very first year, 7 days a week. My second year personally, and this might not be for you, some of you just want to make an extra $1,000, $2,000 a month. My second year, I worked 16 hours a day, 6 days a week. And I slept on my seventh. The third year, I worked 16 hours a day, 6 days a week, and every 90 days, I went on vacation for 72 hours. And I reevaluated what I accomplished the last 90 days. And I did that my fourth year. And in 4 short years, I secured my financial future. And what's exciting is all of you can do it a lot faster than I did it. The last thing you're going to be tested on, I remember Mark telling me, is stay teachable. Stay teachable. Stay teachable. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to show you some people who are extremely teachable with this business, and they've proven it. And they've been extremely loyal, and they've got great work habits. And what I'd like you to do is give them a warm Atlanta welcome to 4 distributorships from Europe. I'm really bad at names, so bear with me. From Europe, Asia, and America. Come on out. Why don't you tell us a bit about your background, how long you've been with the company, and what's happened to you, where you're from actually, and what's happened to you with the business so far.
Hello everybody, Patrizia and Daniele from Italy. We are so proud. We are so proud. We're honored to be here today. Our story with Herbalife started 6 years ago. I was sick. I got sick of a disease that left me, actually had forced me to stay in a hospital bed for a long time. And I thought I would never see my family again, unfortunately, because of this disease people die. And thanks to our sponsor and to God, we found Herbalife. This elevated my immunological defenses, and it raised me from the bed as well. Since then, for us, the life has changed completely. We have always qualified for everything, absolutely everything. Our last qualifications were at December. We had qualified for the royalties, for the top royalty in Italy. And we qualified for the cruise. We qualified in January, February, March for the Miller team. And in the same period, we qualified for the VIP seating and, of course, with the photo with the president, for the dinner, the party, everything. Everything. In spite of all our problems, we always tried to qualify for everything. I don't know the why, or your why. I don't know why you are here today. I just simply know that for us, our why is very strong. It's a great gratitude for the products, for the Herbalife products, and for the company. Thank you from the heart. Thank you so much. Hello, everybody. I am Daniele. I am the husband of this lioness that's right next to me. And as a father, as a husband, sometimes it's not easy to live next to a person like this. Think that even at the hospital, sometimes they're afraid of her. She has incredible courage, like a lioness, really. Now this has actually helped us. It's strange, but it's true. It's helped us because it has taught us to be lucid, to always try to make the right decisions at the right time. And very often, they were not the most easy decisions. Not always have we done the best choices, but we always, with the loyalty and always with a great respect. Our why is very strong. We actually have understood that, thankfully, this, what you call a problem, for us it's just some situations, because it would be, the alternative would be so much worse if this problem didn't exist. Now the gratitude that my wife is mentioning, see, when you're here, when you arrive this position, it will not be simple. You will want to have somebody, you will want to give recognition, and there are so many people that you want to recognize. So, throughout our life, we will always be recognizing our sponsors. And our upline, who have always had an intelligent reply to our demands, to our questions, to our downline, who have wanted, who have known to make this qualification. They really are capable of doing it. You should ask them how to do it. And we, of course, want to be grateful to Mark Hughes. We didn't have the fortune to meet him as you have, and that's why we are even more grateful to Michael Johnson, who has the integrity, the courage to keep loyal to the promise that we had listened to in the CD, which says to always have the best products in the world. Believe me, this can make the difference for somebody. Try and believe this. Try and want to do it. So you, all of you Herbalife distributors, if you are able to see this, will try to believe it and then do it. You will change. First, you'll change your life, and then the life of so many other people. Thank you so much. Hello, good afternoon. My name is Cecilia Garcia. I am proud to be Mexican. Long live Mexico. Okay, this is my photo before Herbalife. I had depression problems after the death of my mother. I fell in a great depression. I let go physically and emotionally. I was in very bad shape, and unfortunately, being in California and Los Angeles, the company found me like this, wearing a size 18, 20. But thanks to the fact that I met an angel at the store, in a clothing store, Karina Ledesma, she gave me a flyer, and she helped me not only to lose all of the overweight using the products. I fell in love with the products. I lost all of that weight, no more overweight, no more depression, and my life changed. Ooh. And thanks to these incredible results, what I said was that I had to stay teachable, that I had to go on step by step the way my great leaders showed me. The first thing they told me was that I had to be in every event. You see, it didn't matter what, no matter what. When I started in Herbalife, I didn't have absolutely anything. I had to work in 2 houses, cleaning 2 houses in order to buy my IBP license. And that's how I was able to obtain it. And the next step was to attend an event, not as big as this one, but I went to my first event in which I received a lot of inspiration. I was there with Jerry Slitanovich in the first event I attended. You can see it there. This was my first event in which I had the vision, in which I was able to see how I could make a promise come true. I promised my mother when she died that I was going to be somebody in life, and I didn't know how. I was desperate. I was behind with my dreams. I was fatter every day. I had terrible depression. My self-esteem was so low. But one of the things that you will find here is that there are going to be people who believe in you, people who will lend you their hand, who will teach you how to do it. And that's what happened with me. After this event, they said that I had to go to the extravaganza events. And my first extravaganza was, I was all the way up there at the end, only with $20 in my pocket. That was the only thing I had in order to go to that extravaganza. And it didn't really matter. I went anyways. I only drank shakes all day. I slept on the floor, but I saw many people from Mexico who were screaming and screaming, Mexico, Mexico. And I got so much inspiration. I didn't understand much, but I was so excited. And I went back and I started working, and it was impressive because, see, after I came back from that extravaganza, I started talking to 20 people every day. Every single day I started working in Los Angeles, California. And then it was incredible what happened after that, because here's my first extravaganza in which I attended, but I was all the way up there. And this is what I would like to tell you today. That it doesn't matter where you are today. It doesn't matter if you're broke, if you don't have any money in the pocket. It doesn't matter if you still don't have any dreams. But if you have a reason, if you have a why that moves you, a reason that gets you to get up every morning to talk to people, that makes you go tell people how incredible these products are, I know that you in 5 years can be here just like me, because I made that promise. That day when I went to that extravaganza was when I made the promise to tell my mother that in this company they were going to help me to make my dreams come true, to be somebody in life. And that's what I have done. I have met such incredible people who have helped me, like the great leader who is Paul Michaels. He has meant so much for me. I don't know where he is, but great thanks to him. And like him, many other leaders, people who have helped me, and from extravaganza to extravaganza. And I was able to qualify to the millionaire team in only 9 months. And then I started my work in Dallas, Texas. That's where I got my millionaire team membership in 3 years. And then after that, I kept working and I kept working. And one of the things that they told me was that I had to qualify for everything. It didn't matter how, I had to qualify for everything. This year, I have just qualified for the vacations. I am qualifying for the dinner, for everything. And it has been incredible, because thanks to this, not only it's what you can achieve and what you get to have in money and trips and luxuries and dinners in the company. The most important thing is all the people, the friendships, your family. It becomes your Herbalife family. I started all by myself in California, and in Dallas I was by myself as well. I spent many Christmases alone without my family. But I told them, I promised my mother that I was going to be somebody in life in order to make you, to give you a better life. And that's what I started doing. This for me was a dream as well. I was able to bring my brother along to Las Vegas, Nevada on the next extravaganza. I was there with my brother as a millionaire team member, and it was incredible what I got. So what I would like to tell you, all of you here, is that you are in the best company, and that you have absolutely everything. It doesn't matter what the challenges are. Sometimes people would throw away the flyers, people would say no, but I kept going and it kept going and going and going. I kept doing it, following all the steps my leaders told me to do, and thanks to that, 5 years ago, I was all the way up there crying. I was making that promise, but now I am here in front of all of you. And the only thing I can tell you is that here's my mother, and here I am, and this pin, I did it for her, and if I was able to do it, then you will also be able to do it. Thank you.
Korea. Are there any Koreans here? Korea. Hello, I'm from South Korea. I'm a president team member. My name is Younghwan Chun. I've been doing Herbalife for 7 years and 4 months now. I used to be a school teacher before. 7 years and 4 months ago, my wife and I met Herbalife because of the weight management. But then we decided to do Herbalife as a business. Now with my wife, we're doing business together. Within a year and 3 months, we became a president team members. In 1999, we became 1 diamond and then 15K president team member. Until then, I thought doing Herbalife is so easy, so fun. I always thought Herbalife was so easy and so fun to do, and we continuously did Herbalife, and I thought 20K, 30K, Chairman's Club members, becoming all those wasn't that far away. And we successfully did president team member work for 4 years. And we were growing continuously. And I thought that progress will continue forever. However, when there are up times, there are always down times. But I didn't realize it at that time. But the down times came. In 2003, Herbalife Korea was facing a difficult period. So my organization, my group also faced a difficult time. More than half of my group members left. And what was also really unfortunate was that about 80% of the top team members left Herbalife. And even though I was a president team member, I was not receiving a royalty payment as a president team member. And that would continue for almost a year. So I didn't know what to do with Herbalife. So as I think about Herbalife back then, I thought doing Herbalife was so difficult at that time. But then there was a turning point that I realized that I shouldn't be like that. The good thing about Herbalife is that you come to these types of meetings and you renew your commitment, you renew your determination. I remember December of 2003, in the city called Gyeongju in Korea, we had an action team meeting. At that meeting, I renewed my commitment, I renewed my determination. See, it wasn't that I was starting from nothing. I still had the members left. So with the teamwork, with all those team members, I realized I could do this again. So I made an action plan of 2 years. And in 2004, people who are in the GET team, MILK team, press team, to recover the volume points according to their team was the first goal. And then this year's goal was to 1 level up, to upgrade 1 level. So in order to do those, I came up with 4 methods to do that. First thing was the numbers. I thought numbers was very important. So the volume number had gone down and the team members had gone down, so the number had gone down. So I had to increase the number of consumers, the distributors, and also the people who you work together, the supervisors. So you had to focus on those, increasing the numbers. And also you had to go to the basics of Herbalife, strengthen the retail and recruit. Using the circle of influence, using the flyers, the advertisements, all those. I really did my best to do that. And then the second thing was actually to assess and evaluate the circumstance and also make a modification, make an improvement on the spot as needed. Making an assessment was not done on a monthly basis, but it was done on daily basis, weekly basis, and then on a monthly basis. And as a result of that, everybody understood their progress, people tried harder. And the third most important thing was for those newly recruited people, to understand what really Herbalife is. they had to be educated, and we used many programs, and amongst those programs, we used one program that was done by Tae-Hoo Kim and Hyun-Mook Koo, the Chairman's Club members in Korea. They're doing this 9-week program, and we utilized that program, and through that program, people understood the concept and the actions of Herbalife, and they were able to do the duplication for Herbalife, and also distributor management and supervisor management was done more easily. And I really emphasized on HOMs. I did HOMs every day. In the mornings and also in the evenings, I did home parties. And then the next thing we did was utilizing the promotions. In order to come to Atlanta, we had an Atlanta Extravaganza Challenge, and we had 40 people who obtained the qualification. That was a significant result. So as a result of all these methods, more than 80% of our group members recovered their royalty. In 2005, the previous month, most of the TAP team members recovered their royalty. And also myself, just the previous month, my royalty points. I didn't have royalty point before, but previous month, my royalty reached almost 20K. See, now that I'm here in Atlanta, there's another commitment that I renewed, another determination that I made. I'm a President team member, but see, there are not enough seats for President team members. There are not enough seats for President members, so you have to come early in the morning to get the seat. I think that means that Herbalife, the company, is telling us to become a Chairman's Club member quickly. So next year, I'll become a Chairman's Club member, and I'll meet you as a Chairman's Club member. I love Herbalife.
I've been told I have to give my quick elevator version. So, my name is Jennifer Michelli, and I'm from Daytona Beach, Florida. When this opportunity landed in my lap, I desperately needed this. Not only was I financially broke, I was a struggling business owner. I had an all-women's gym. And at the end of the month, after paying all of my bills and my staff and expenses, I was lucky if I could take $200 for myself. I was a single mother raising 3 children. But most importantly, I needed these products. My story is a little bit different. We talk a lot about weight loss. But I was an anorexic. At my lowest weight, I was 80 pounds. So I desperately needed these products. Within 6 weeks of taking these products, I successfully put on 10 pounds of lean muscle. To date, I have successfully put on a total of 48 pounds of lean muscle. Thank you. Yes, I represent America. I have gone on to become a top international fitness model. This is husband, professional bodybuilder Lee Apperson. I'm a national figure competitor, but because of the results that I've had, the opportunity for the business landed in my lap. I sample the products to everybody. I talk about it. I did what Mark Hughes said. He said, become a product of the product. Use the products, wear the button, and talk to people. I did that over and over and over again. My first meeting, there I was. Here I am today. I cannot believe it. Within my first month, not knowing what I was doing, but doing what Mark said and following the good leadership of Tommy and Sandy Giosa, my sponsors, who said you have to have the desire to change, you have to have the willingness to work, and you have to stay teachable. And because of that, the way that I looked in my desperate situation, I did that. I retailed $6,000 my first month. My first year in business, I made over $30,000 part-time. I made over $48,000 my second, $60,000 the last 2 years, and this year I'm on track to do over $100,000. And for you President's team members, I would like a seat at one of these tables because I'm working my way there successfully. I've got 25 people in my organization here today, or this weekend. But I did the simple things that Mark said again. You know, hold the meetings. We have 3 meetings a week. I drag my kids. We go every single time we do the deal, what we're supposed to do. I try doing, there's many different ways to do your business. I tried running ads. I got 50 phone calls the first day. It was too much like a job. I couldn't do that. So all I do is I use my mouth. I became a product of the product. I live it. I believe it. I am so passionate about these products because I would not be here today. I follow the tapes of Jim Rohn. I dress for success. I do what they say. I faked it till I make it, and actually I'm making it now, which is really exciting. And I mean, it works. So no matter what your background is, what your educational level is, none of that matters. You know, when the phone call came in that Mark Hughes died, Tommy called me. It was midnight, and I remember sitting there, and I cried like a baby. I felt like I lost a family member. I had the good fortune of meeting him and being in a business meeting with a small group and listening to him. And every time he spoke, it was as though he was speaking directly to you. He knew your life story. And listening to all of you and looking at you here, I cannot believe I'm standing here talking to you. I mean, this is pretty cool, you know. But we just do what you say. And we've got, Florida's rocking, aren't we? We got Blake heading it up. We've got Tommy and Sandy and Mark and Jenny Davis. And watch out, because Florida's on fire. So, you know, just be duplicate, teach your guys what to do. Follow the leadership that we have here, and the rest is history. And your dreams will become true. That's what's happened to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jennifer. Yes, we're gonna go. Okay. All right. What I'd like to do is give you 10 points. Actually, we're going to do them very quick because of time. What I'd like to do is give you a few points here, and we're running a bit late. But these points Mark gave me, and I want to show you a picture of when I got involved with this business, and when he gave me these points when I first got involved. And I know I look like a little geek, but I remember when I first met Mark, and he gave me these points, and I'm going to give them to you very quickly. The first one, for the new people, especially people who've been around for a while, is have faith. Have faith. Or better yet, have blind faith. Have blind faith that this business will work for you. Reality is, it doesn't matter your age, it doesn't matter your religion, it doesn't matter your political background, if you're a male or a female, and it really doesn't matter your nationality. Everybody has the exact same opportunity. And I believe that truly, if I get somebody involved with this business, anyone can succeed at this business. My recommendation to you, and it's not easy to have, is have blind faith that this business will work for you. The other point Mark gave to me, and I've got these points written on my desk, and I try to live my life by these points. To sit down, I would strongly recommend, is write down 10 goals. 10 goals that you would like to accomplish. What I've seen is people actually plan out their vacations better than their own financial future. Write down 10 goals you would like to accomplish in the next 12 months. And personally, after seeing what you're seeing this weekend with the new products and where we're headed in the future, what this company is going to accomplish in the next 5 years, what I would do is I would pretend, and the key word is pretend, that you just signed a brand new application. Pretend you signed a brand new application and start from this date forward. The third thing Mark taught me, don't sell the products for the price, but sell the products for the value. Don't sell these products for the price, but sell them for the value. What do I mean by that? If you're in a desert, dying for a glass of water, how much would you pay for a glass of water? How much would you pay for a glass of water? People do not buy things for price, they buy it for value. Another point Mark taught me was care more about your customers than the money you're making from them. Care more about your customers than the money you're making from them. One customer, and my recommendation is do proper follow-up on them. One customer can turn into 10 customers. 10 customers can turn into 100 customers. if you do the proper follow-up. Care more about the customer and their results than the money you're making. Another point that Mark taught me was stay focused. Stay focused. And it's not easy to stay focused. There's a lot of distractions you're going to go through. If you can't stay focused for the next 12 months, if that's too long, no problem. My recommendation is just stay focused for the next 90 days. The next 90 days, stay focused. Another one is get serious. Get serious. What do I mean by get serious? I'm not talking about the time that you think about Herbalife. I'm not talking about the time that you spend with your wife or your spouse talking to them about all the money you're going to make. I'm talking about the real productive time. You know when you're serious with this business. My recommendation to everybody in the room is get serious. Take responsibility for your own financial future. Who's going to pay your bills in 2005? Another one Mark taught me. Care more about your distributors. Care more about your distributors than the money that you make from them. Master duplication. If you truly want to get rich with this business, master duplication. Teach retail. Teach recruiting. Encourage them. Inspire them. But more than all of that, never give up on them. Never give up on your distributors. And they will thank you in the end. Another point that Mark taught me, that's sitting on my desk that I try to live by, is be consistent. Is be consistent. Mark told me to talk to 10 people a day. 10 people a day. If I missed and I only talked to 9, the next day I talked to 11. In baseball, the baseball season just started in America. In baseball, if you bat 200, which means every time you step up to plate, you hit the ball twice out of 10 times. You average about $300,000 to $400,000 a year. In American baseball, if you bat 300, which means you hit the ball one more time, just one more time, 300, 3 times out of 10 versus 2 times out of 10. You make $3 or $4 million. My recommendation to you, and what Mark taught me, and one of the points was be consistent. Be consistent. You never know the next person. All you need is one more hit. You never know your next customer, where that will lead to. You never know your next distributor, where that will lead to. Here's another one. And a lot of distributors, when they get involved with this business, they want to get rich yesterday. Or they sign the application and they say, "Where's my paycheck?" Mark taught me, be patient. There's a phrase in Italy, Rome wasn't built in a day. Rome wasn't built in a day. My recommendation is be patient with your distributorship. Be patient. Another one. And I've seen this over the last 22 years. 3 things kill distributors: ego, arrogance, and greed. Ego, arrogance, and greed. Mark taught me to be humble. Be humble. You're all going to make a lot of money with this business. You're all going to make a lot of money with this business, as long as you stick with it. As long as you master it. It's just like any other business, if you think about it. When you first start a job, your first day, you're scared to death. Your second day, you get more confidence. After a week, you get a lot of confidence. After a year, you probably could do your job in your sleep. With this business, you're all going to make a lot of money, but don't let the money go to your head. One thing I remember, and Mark taught me this, the only reason that I was going to make, and I am making a lot of money today, is because of our product line. Because of our product line. I'd love to say it's my personality, and once you get to know me, you're going to find out it's not. I'd love to say it's my looks. It's obviously not. Reality is, the only reason that I'm making the kind of money I'm making today is because of the product line. but also be humble. Here's another one. Have a good attitude. Have a good attitude. Mark taught me to have a good attitude. 3 rules when it comes to attitude. Number 1, don't complain downline. Don't complain downline. Why? Because these are the people you get paid on. This is your downline. You're shooting yourself in the head. You start complaining downline, your distributors are going to quit on you. One thing Mark taught me was everything's perfect. It's out of control. Here's another one. Don't complain upline. Don't complain upline. Why? Why would your upline want to work with you? Who wants to work with somebody who's complaining? I know when I say that, some of you are thinking, okay, Blake, if I can't complain downline, I can't complain upline. I know what I'll do. I'm going to complain sidelines. I'm going to complain to somebody I don't get paid on. I don't recommend you do that. Why? Because you're going to wreck your reputation. You're going to wreck your reputation. So the last one you might want to write down. Simple. Don't complain. Don't complain. Another point. Don't take Herbalife for granted. Don't take Herbalife for granted. I've heard so many people say, Blake, if I got started when you got started. If I only got started when you got started. All I can tell you is no, you don't. You have no idea what we've gone through to get to this point. But what I'm excited about is the next 25 years. And you've heard it this weekend. There's going to be a lot of books written about this corporation. And what you have to do is decide what chapter you want to be mentioned on. And the very last one. You know the best feeling in the world? The very best feeling in the world? And I remember Mark telling me this. It's when you put your head on your pillow at night and know that you did your best. And just remember, if a chicken catcher can do it, so can you. Thanks a lot, everybody.